What's happening, everyone? Welcome back to Perfect Form Forever, where we talk anime, manga, and everything in between. How y'all doing out there? I'm back. I am back. And what we're going to do today, we're going to talk about Bandai Card Games Fest and the response, public statement that they made about said event. All right? So what we're going to do, how are we going to do this? Let's talk about it, right? Let's talk about it. Let's look. I'm gonna read through the statement. If you haven't read it already, you probably did if you're into the One Piece card game or any Bandai card game at that. And let's see what they say, right? So I'm gonna have it up. Let's read through it. All right. Record breaking attendance and operational challenges. Thanks to the overwhelming passion and enthusiasm of our players, Bandai Card Game Fest 2025 and 2026 recorded the highest ever attendance in the history of the event in the past weekend in Dallas, Texas. In the history of the event this past weekend in Dallas, Texas. Yeah. The attendance exceeded our expectations, and we sincerely apologize to all our guests for the operational challenges that resulted. Bandai Card Games Fest is committed to providing players with the very best fan experience every year, and this year's event fell short. We are already working together with both Bandai Card Games and organizer PlayTCG on solutions to prevent future issues and enable us to deliver the premier card game event that fans have come to expect. But while we understand the frustration felt, the aggressive conduct by some attendees, including assaulting staff and abusive language, is completely unacceptable, and we cannot allow conduct to endanger either our attendees or staff. And so, we ask your help in creating a safe and welcoming environment for everyone at future events. Okay? Thank you for your understanding and continued support, and we look forward to seeing you at next Bandai Card Games event. Bandai Card Games and PlayTCG. Okay, let's get into it, right? That's their statement. So, first things first, right? Obviously, this is kind of like a PR blanket statement. Oh, we're happy, this, that, and third. So, let's go from the top down. Top down, right? First paragraph, who cares? Second paragraph, the attendance exceeded our expectations. So one thing I hate is when they had the data way before the event took place, right? Meaning we had to go into the Bandai app and confirm it, right? We had to do that because you have the set number of people playing, so you had that number. Then you had the guest invites, the general entry, them enter. So you knew what you were getting into. You knew what kind of crowd you were seeing. You knew, okay, we got X amount of general entry, so it's going to be the biggest one we have. We got to tighten it up. We got to tighten up and prepare for this crowd. All right, how are we going to do that? All right, how are we going to do crowd control? How are we going to do this? How are we going to do that? That's what numbers, that's data, right? If you're, like, I could understand if they've said, we're going off base last year's numbers because, whoever could come. No, we had a system. We had to punch the clock and say, yes, we are attending, right? So you could say, okay, so every attendee could bring 2 guests. So 1 times 3. Okay, this is going to be around this. It's going to be a large event. So we need to prepare for that. So miss me on, the attendance exceeded our expectations. No, they met the expectation because you knew it was coming. So miss me with that. So I understand you want to celebrate. It was a big event. Yes, you could celebrate that, but don't say it exceeded. Like, no, you kind of knew what was coming up. So I'm calling BS on that. And also, right, what I want to say is they had two Bandai Card Games Fest, right? The first one was crazy, but it was their first one, so you give them that grace, right? The second one was better than the first in that they had it in more places. And you could tell they were trying to implement new things, right? So they had it in more places in the States, and they had it all over the place, which I think they're doing this year. But it was better than the first. So that, like, even if the second was bad, if it was better than the first, then you'll get our complaints, but it's coming from a better place. Now the third being worse than the first, then the second, come on now. You're taking 2 steps back, and it's like, it's not our fault we had too many people. So yeah. So it's like you'll have your operational challenges, but those challenges should be in the forefront of your mind when you saw the saying, yo, we got a lot of people that are interested in coming. So let's tighten it up, right? Let's see. And it says solutions to prevent future issues to enable us to develop. The thing is, the future issues part, right? As far as when I've done regionals last year, all those regionals went without a hitch. And I think all of them were PlayTCG. So they know how to run it. So what is stopping them from doing it on, it's not even a large scale. Like the tournament itself should be easy stuff, right? Side events, easy. Tournament, easy. That stuff should go out off without a hitch. It's the stuff in the general area that needs to be tightened up. But I heard that stuff in the tournament space was a crapshoot, right? We have side events that's not going off like 2 hour delays and things of that nature. People that signed in couldn't play, and they had to play another time, but they couldn't get a refund because they didn't know what was going on. Like, I'm hearing so much crap on the event side of things. Like, how do you mess up both? Like, I can't speak to all the, there hasn't been, I'm not sure if PlayTCG have done regionals this year because they haven't done in Texas yet, but I'm assuming it went sort of good if they have one in other states. But it's frustrating to see. Like, I hate when things are bad and it gets worse, right? And you had a year to prepare for it, right? And the way this statement goes, right? Where does it say? We are working together, both Bandai games and we are working together. It's like, yo, tighten up, right? Like, we are working together. It's like, aren't y'all in cahoots? Y'all been working together. We are working together. Like, this is not your first rodeo. Come on now, right? To solutions to prevent future issues. The issues they had here are issues they've always had, right? They've always had it. In all the Bandai Card Fest, they had product issues, line issues. That's the thing. There weren't product issues that much in the second one, but either One Piece Day and all, if you count all that, there's always gonna be product. It's like, to me, if it's Bandai Card Fest, this is where you just you throw the book out and with allocation. You say, you know what? Screw it. Let's send everything there. Let's send everything there. Everything there. Let's over prepare. Wherever we have, quadruple it. Right? Like, you're supposed to have everything so everyone has a chance to dabble in something different, right? There's some Digimon stuff. A One Piece player say, you know what, let me buy this product. Right? You got a new game out, Gundam. All right, everyone in every other card game say, yeah, let me dibble and dabble in Gundam, right? And and Gundam, I'm hearing, is going through those early One Piece Day shortages and things like that. So it's crazy that you would think they would learn, especially with a big IP as Gundam, that you don't want to go the same growing pains as in Digimon in its first iteration, One Piece when it first came out, and still having those issues, and Gundam's going through the same thing. It's like they're going through the same tune again. It's like Bandai's scared to make product sells out at an exorbitantly fast rate. They just say, okay, we could, first 3 sets, all right, it's going good. Let's do it. So it's just weird that this statement is as if they haven't been through this yet, right? Crazy stuff, right? And the funny thing is, like, on the bottom, while we understand the frustration felt and aggressive conduct by some attendees, right? So I guess one, this makes it sound like a gang of people were out there assaulting the staff members. I don't know the details of this, but I guarantee it was just one person, maybe one person that assaulted someone. So that person should have been dealt with in that fashion. And maybe a group of people were cursing them out. That's what I think, right? And there's no room for that. Of course, you don't want, we're perfect. We're not supposed to do stuff like that. But yo, you hostile environments, you bring the crazy out in people. And trust me, One Piece got some crazy people in it. The One Piece card game got some crazy people in it. So no one should be doing that. But that happening just to tell you, like, yo, we need to tighten up by keeping everyone safe. Don't think things are soft and sweet out here, even though it's just a card game, for crying out loud. But yeah, you have the organization, right? That's all you need. If you had the organization, everything will go smoothly. But it seems like they throw an event out there. None of the staff knows what's going on. There's no kind of communication on their end. The people that are hired, the people outside of PlayTCG that's hired to run the retail shop and stuff like that, have no idea what's going on. They're trying to get word in the moment. And I heard, and also in the comment section in my previous video, that the officials, I guess in PlayTCG, either sold off the QR code to get product in the retail section to a Discord or something like that. So people had the opportunity to, I guess, put their placement in line before everyone else. So that's corruption. That's literally corruption. So the whole system it's like a reseller's paradise, right? You got the money, pay some people off, you get where the getting's good. But yeah, it's like, to me, like, I hate, right? Like, if I mess up, right? And people are depending on me, telling you, you know what, we did great today, but we need to do better, right? For the people that are looking to me as the leader to do better, I have to specify what went wrong and how we're going to fix it, right? Even in this space, they're not going to do that because it's kind of public. You got to keep a good image. But giving those hints out, boom, boom, boom. Okay, we had a capacity issue. We gotta look into that. We got a retail issue. I don't know why we have a retail issue. We'll look into that, right? The whole blanket, we'll prevent this in the future kind of thing, right? And it's funny because I remember, I think after the first Bandai event, Bandai had like a little announcement video that they played. And talking about, that's where it came, where they're doing store regionals, store championships, store treasure cups and things like that. And they and that's when they said you have to get an invite to nationals to play in nationals. That's where that came from. But it seems like they kind of put a Band-Aid on a huge, like a deep wound. But here is like that wound is reopened. It's like you gotta figure this out, because if it's big now, it's gonna be big next year if you get a different venue that can hold more people. Or if the TCG continues to grow, then you can expect this N times 0.5. So I'm not sure and it seems like they're never prepared, right? Let's talk about organizers, right? Each organizer in this bad boy, let's talk about that, right? Because I'm in the Discord for each of the organizers that run like the online treasure cups and all that. So the big ones is PlayTCG and Magna Carta on Canada. Yo, they can't, like, I stopped playing online anything with the One Piece game. The Magna Carta, they can't get product out to save their life. I'm not sure when their last either regional or treasure cup, but they have problems every time sending out all the participation finalists, all those prize packs. They always have problems. There's always delays. It takes months for people to receive their things. And I don't know that through people. I know that through the Discord, because they're always updating saying, all right, we did one shipment. We're doing another one. Oh, things are out of control. The Canada Post strike again, right? Like there are always problems with that one. That's why I'm like, yo, I'm not doing anything that needs to be mailed to me through any kind of online competition, right? And plus, my setup is good enough to do it, but I'm like, I refuse to do that. But PlayTCG, it seems like on a huge scale, not a huge scale, because they can run a 1054 or 1024 event. They can run that well from what I've been to. I may be wrong. I need to be updated on that. And they can run a 512 tournament relatively well. So for them to just keep dropping the ball here, it has to be a coordinated effort for this to fail. Because I'm not even sure Bandai even does anything for this particular one. For the last one, Bandai, they had the Bandai people there, right? They were doing their thing. They're on stage. They were there. This one, they weren't there. It was I'm assuming it was via TV because there was no stage for them to talk or anything like that. So I'm assuming Bandai was not there. They provided the product. There was no Bandai person. Like One Piece Day, they had Bandai people there, right? Doing their thing. So cool. But this one didn't have any Bandai people there. So it's I don't know, it's all weird, right? Like this video's off the top of my head, it's not polished videos, just kind of I'm trying to understand where their upside is, right? I'm not sure what they can do, what they haven't shown that they could do better, only a little bit worse. And it's frustrating because we all love this game, right? We all want to play this game. We all want to buy the product, play with said product. We want them to be as carefree as it can be, but it's just the company's holding us back. Literally, the company. Bandai Card Games, PlayTCG, you guys are holding us back. Bandai Card Games with the products. Like, you guys are, it's scary how you guys haven't caught up to it, right? PRB2 is coming out soon. That seems to be a one-wave ordeal. Same thing with EBO2, right? We're on 2, right? Yeah. Like, we shouldn't have any one. This would be continuous product goes until it sits on the shelves, right? It's supposed to just sit like 500 years. Royal Blood. Two Legends. If it's sitting like that, then we're in a good space. But right now, it seems like it's like an uphill battle. Like, I thought this game would have peaked like this year, matter of fact. Like, this kind of peaked. Like, okay, it's this top. We're at the top at the crazy. Now from here, we kind of level off, come down a little bit, level off, and we're good to go. But this, I can see players being like, you know what? I'm good on the One Piece. I'm good on Bandai, matter of fact. I'm good on them. Let me wait it out. Let me see what they're doing, right? They'll do what I'm doing, not really playing any in-person events and just kind of, sitting back and see what happens, right? I would do that, but, I love One Piece too much to be like that, right? I want to be intertwined and see what's going on. But, like, these videos, giving Bandai this feedback is needed, right? We need to just whoop their behinds on just feedback. Like, yo, do better, do better, do better. Remind them that they need to do better. When they're not doing better, I thought you promised us you're going to do better, right? This is not the time to be like, you know what? They couldn't control this. It's all right. They'll do. No, you got to be on their behinds to do better because that's all we can do, really. That's all we can do. But comment below, right? Comment below what you think Bandai needs to be accountable for and what they need to do better with, so I could better understand different points of view. Hey, you might think they did great. Tell me why you think they did great. But overall, I think we as a community need to keep putting behind with these corporations, man, with these organizers, because we have too much technology to be getting this wrong, right? We have too much technology, right? If PlayTCG and Bandai have been in cahoots for this long, their communication should be rock solid from Jump Street. This kind of thing shouldn't be a run-of-the-mill thing, kind of an ongoing thing. It should be like oh, we had a failure here, we solved that, boom, everything still went off without a hitch. Not there's miscommunication everywhere, everything's falling apart. It's just, I don't know. To me, it's like they need to do better. I'm not sure why they're not doing better. Like I said, they take one step forward, next event, 5 steps back. It's like they can never get ahead of it. And when they do start to get their motion and going, the next big event all goes downhill again. So, step your technology up, step your communication up. And I've always said this. I've said this in many videos. Bandai needs a US team, a Euro team, a Japan team, a Chinese team, and a Latin team, right? Just to make sure the temperature's cool in those regions. If they could just do that, like they got the Japanese team going all over the place and all that. Like, nah, you stay over there, be the standard, let these other pockets get things going, right? Stop trying to be all over the place all at once. But yeah, I'm going to keep saying that until it happens. But yeah, I think it needs to be overhauled, but tell us as much as you can during that process, right? Because what's going to happen? They're going to leave us in the dark. The next event's going to come up. It's going to be a crapshoot. And you're like, okay, where the progress at? Where's the progress you've been working on for future events? So my thing is, I honestly want to, I was going to cut this video, but I'm still talking. I honestly want to see other organizations take a stab at this. I'm not sure, because I'm sure there's more organizations. I know PlayTCG is the top dog, it seems, but let other organizations have a go at this. Just make sure you're not using best coast pairing or anything like that. But have other organizations have a run at this. Have it in different places, bigger venues if possible. Even though that it hurts me to say that because I want them to keep it in Dallas because it's cheap to do that here. But I mean, if you need to take it back to California to do that, as much as I want you to do that, I don't want you to do that. But maybe like Anaheim or Burbank or something like that, right? But yeah, don't do it in Illinois or that little spot you guys used to do it. Don't do it there. Do it in New York or I don't know, somewhere I'm familiar with, maybe Florida. But yeah, like try to, I don't know. I know there's more ideas how to make this better from different people, but you choose not to listen to them. There's got to be more ideas out there, but I'm rambling. I'm good at that. But yeah, just give me your take. Tell me what you think would be the best course of action. I know we could put our heads together and come up with some steps to do things in a more positive direction than just bombing it. Like this is their Super Bowl, I would say, right? This is their Super Bowl. People from out of town, out of state are coming here to experience this and they just bomb it. So I don't know. I don't know what to tell you, but I've been critical of them since day one. I've been critical of them. And I've been to a lot of stuff. So a lot of stuff as far as the One Piece card game and all that good stuff. So I've seen things run good, things run bad. So I have a good sense of what can be done. But let me know down below what you think. I bet we come with some ideas too, right? But that's me. That's the video. Appreciate you watching if you got this far, me rambling. Next video will be the PRB alt art that did come out today. So I got to put a video out about them or alt arts and all that good stuff. So Oliver Williams, Perform Forever. I appreciate you as usual. But I'll see you in the next one. Peace.